Today, we'll talk about the 2025 Hyundai IONIQ 5N 641 GP Drift EV. Even after launching the all-electric IONIQ 5, one of the most impressive electric vehicles, Hyundai managed to cook up something even more daring. A high-voltage N model for those who want a nerve-wracking and exhilarating performance. Like other gas-fired models from the company's N line, the IONIQ 5N will deliver its thrills at a much higher price point. Even though this N model will have the same platform as the Kia EV6 GT, it's not just a carbon copy with a Hyundai badge. In fact, the N division has done all of its own tuning to make it the hottest electric SUV to go, stop, and turn in its own different way. This launch of the next Hyundai N performance car gives the 2025 IONIQ 5 a halo model. Plus, anything that pushes over 600 horsepower has a full-on drift mode and gallops to 100 km per h in 3.4 seconds, puts a massive spotlight on the car. What's new and different about the N model, you ask? Well, keep watching to find out. The IONIQ 5N will come with dual electric motors that will put out 601 horsepower normally. But thanks to the N-Grin boost feature, they get an adrenaline boost that temporarily pumps up the power output to 641 ponies. That's crazy. If you look at the exterior like other N models, the muscled-up IONIQ flaunts athletic hardware compared to its more pedestrian counterparts. This includes a large rear diffuser, larger wheels, stickier tires, big brakes, wider fenders, and a racier nosepiece. Yep, this new IONIQ 5N will arrive with a more aggressive-looking front grille, a raised roof spoiler, attractive bright body accents, 21-inch wheels, a rocking suspension, as well as bigger brakes to fully allow one to go with a whopping hike in that crazy horsepower. Enough about its features. Let's talk about the interior of this crazy beast. Those who have been inside the cabin of the regular IONIQ 5 will find the N's interior pretty familiar. However, the automakers have added several performance-oriented features to differentiate it from the preceding model and to also heighten the ride experience. Along with that, a set of aggressively bolstered front seats helps hold the passengers in place during high-speed cornering. You will also find a unique steering wheel that features buttons to access the SUV's drive modes, regenerative braking levels, and the N-Grin boost feature. You can expect to see an identical amount of passenger and cargo space as the standard IONIQ 5, which held a maximum of 20 carry-on suitcases inside with the rear seats folded. Hyundai hasn't released any specifics about their infotainment yet, but we can see from photos that the N model uses the same 12.0-inch touchscreen infotainment system and 12.0-inch digital gauge cluster as the regular model. According to that claim, the N will feature the same voice recognition software, as well as standard with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Now here's the exciting feature that we do know about. This is for the many people who complain about missing the noise and the fury that comes with a gasoline-powered car. In a brief get-to-know-you drive of Hyundai's 641 HP IONIQ 5N, it was revealed that Hyundai has just torpedoed that reasonable-sounding anti-EV argument. No, there is no engine, but you can experience the same noise and fury that a gasoline car provides. And here's how Hyundai did that. Through a killer app which comes as a feature in the N model called N eShift. Now we're not just talking about fake engine noises piped through the speakers, but there is a gas engine soundtrack as good as any computer racing simulator. By using an ingenious combination of motor torque and regenerative braking, the N eShift feature makes the IONIQ 5 feel, not just sound, but feel as if it has a twin-clutch automatic transmission. The physical sensations that it generates are identical to Hyundai's own DCT. How crazy is that? That's not all. The digital dash displays an 8,000 RPM tachometer, and the acceleration mimics the torque curve of a 4-cylinder turbo engine. Plus, it can even bounce off an imaginary limiter, cutting off all the acceleration if the driver forgets to paddle up. This, combined with the synthesized engine noises, gives an eerily accurate effect. So much that you can almost convince yourself that Hyundai secretly stuffed one of its N-spec turbo engines into the body of the IONIQ 5N. Moving on to the part we're all anticipating, its engine, range, and drift modes. All IONIQ 5Ns will come with a dual-motor, all-wheel drive configuration that makes 601 horsepower. Well, most of the time. However, when the N-Grin boost feature is used, the powertrain can spin itself to deliver a maximum of 641 horsepower temporarily. It has an all-wheel drive system that gives drivers the ability to distribute the bulk of that power to the front or rear wheels as they desire. There's even a dedicated drift mode that inspires enough confidence to let you hang the tail out in lurid slides. There are 4 different modes to select from: Eco, Normal, Sport, and N, which adjust the steering weight, damping, and throttle sensitivity. Moreover, there are also endurance and sprint modes to either preserve the IONIQ 5N's battery range or unlock maximum power for qualifying or drag racing tasks. During a test drive by Car and Driver, they found that the 5N does a commendable job of tracking straight during all-out launches and under hard ABS engagement on mixed traction surfaces. According to their experience, the handling is balanced and controllable when you want it to be, but the drift mode allows you to hang the tail out when you want a more fun ride. According to Hyundai, 60 miles per hour should arrive in about 3.3 seconds, but as per their test drive, they believe it will be quicker by about 0.2 seconds. To ensure that the IONIQ 5N goes around corners just as quickly as it performs at the drag strip, the body of the car has been strengthened and the steering sharpened. Similarly, it also gets larger adaptive dampers for better body control over a broader range. Lastly, the N also gets 400mm front rotors with 4-piston calipers for enhanced braking to properly rein in 641 GP without wearing down the rotors and turning the rotors into pretzels. Beyond the physical attributes, the N also hones advanced technology to sharpen the handling and add some interesting and fun extensions. The N pedal uses a technology that is similar to the I pedal one-pedal drive. This feature allows the N pedal to selectively apply regenerative braking to different wheels to create what is basically torque vectoring. This helps the drive turn into a corner in a much easier and sharper fashion and helps to hide the weight at play. On the other hand, the N drift optimizer helps the driver to turn into a drift faster and maintain that long drift by balancing multiple vehicle controls in real time. The N torque distribution allows the driver to adjust the torque split through 11 levels, such that you can select the range to go from family ride to track demon. This feature is underscored by the N race function and its endurance and sprint functions. When endurance mode is engaged, it limits peak power, which maximizes racetrack range. On the other hand, the sprint mode gives power more priority by providing short bursts of full-on power. The IONIQ 5N boosts a larger 84 kWh battery to ensure the pony power goes the distance. So far, Hyundai has not given a range, but it should get close to 400 km per charge. However, Hyundai did claim that the IONIQ 5N can complete 2 laps of the Nürburgring Nordschleife before losing any of its performance. The battery can be charged from 10 to 80% in just 18 minutes when plugged into a 350 kWh DC fast charger, which is pretty quick in our opinion. The automakers also claimed that in endurance mode, the IONIQ N can complete 20 minutes of track time, recharge in another 20 minutes on a DC charger, and then complete another 20 minutes of track time. Damn, that's taking lightning fast on another level. Overall, we think Hyundai did some extensive reworking with the IONIQ 5N because it is an impressive track machine that can do pretty reckless but exciting stuff. All in all, it proves the claim that skilled software engineers and a bit of imagination can make an EV do practically anything a gearhead wants. This is where we are ending the video. We hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to let us know what you think in the comments down below.